poets competing tonight at the monthly Button Poetry Live Slam. I'm going to turn around and talk to them now. Yeah, she hasn't written them. Yes, and yes, you are. Sweet. So Nick has the release forms. You all have to sign them. And once you do that, give them back to Nick. We've got pens for you guys.
Don't say the title unless it's essential.
As soon as you interact with the audience, it's an annual stuff.
So these ones are just the general release forms for the show. There are separate video release forms where you'd list like for the show. Does everyone have?
Everybody got them?
Still have a 10-second grace period.
You know, I assumed so. Yeah, I assume so. Yeah.
On everything. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody need a pen?
Pen.
Need a pen?
Do
Here.
you need anything?
Not really. No.
Cool.
It's the fourth.
Anyone else need a pen?
1, 4, 6.
Maybe. No, not really.
We just went over this. The 1, 4, 16. Cool.
I don't think I've ever been in a group where that many people knew what day it was.
We just talked about it. You know, I didn't know, and then I knew after I asked. Well, I knew it, and then I kind of down that it was the 6th, and I was like, I mean, it's like, you can almost go on. You can, but it sucks.
Yes, thank you.
So as soon as we start, like, talking to the audience, it doesn't even matter to talk. Like, if you interact with them in any way,
Yes, I would.
you like to interpret it.
If you need to catch it, Taylor.
You know, if you look at
Taylor.
that kind of stuff,
In the very like corner, right there, like with the Guinness in front of her, with the papers. Put it in the cup and then in the back.
Oh, okay. Yes, got it. Got it. Thank you. So this is just for
Yes, this is more like if we're like doing stuff.
No, that's fine. Should have read it before I signed.
this on? Excuse me. Is there an Irene Hayes? Irene Hayes, your credit card was found on the ground. No? Okay. Okay.
All right, we're going to get things started because I am punctual as shit. And I did actually know Irene Hayes. I didn't just pocket somebody's credit card. Yeah? Is that funny? No. All right, sweet. What is up, St. Paul? Hey, St. Paul there is having a great time. This is awesome. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. I can't see you. I can see like this first row, and that's awesome in St. Paul over there, so this is going to be great. Okay, you guys have signed up for the most wonderful night ever, all right? This Poetry Slam is a very special one, okay? It is only people that are going to be on stage performing here are going to be non-binary and women, all right? So that's going to be awesome. We get an applause for that. Support this event. This is wonderful. For those guys who don't know, this Button Poetry Live is going to be live streamed, all right? The name is relevant and everything. Apparently there have been people waiting since like 11 a.m. to get onto this live stream so they can watch this event, okay? I don't know if you guys are going to be in it or whatever. There's going to be like a crowd shot or whatnot. It's going to be awesome, okay? So, my job right now is to remind you guys of a few things. I'm going to be your host. My name is Joseph Capehart, all right? Woo! Sweet. First of all, while you are here, I'm going to be up on the stage intermittently between the poets that are going to be performing. Some amazing things are going to happen up here. We have a wonderful feature named Rachel McKibbens, all right? Yeah. It's indeed. But while I am up here on the stage, all right, this is a moment where you get to disrespect the shit out of me, all right? So use your phones and talk and whatnot while I'm talking. I don't matter for the most part when it comes to this event, all right? But when the poets are doing their thing, please put those phones away. Please shut up, all right? Let them do their thing without any distractions, all right? Somebody's feeling that real hard. So that's super great. I'm really excited for this. But in the times that you can be on your devices and interact with each other, I urge you, Facebook this, tweet this, Instagram this. LinkedIn? No? Snap it! Snap it! And all the other social media thingies that are popping out of the woodworks that nobody really knows about. But anything that you can, get the word out, all right? You heard about. Let's continue to spread that love, all right? This is a wonderful, wonderful community, and we want more people to enter, regardless of fire code. You know what I'm talking about? It's going to be great. All right, so I'm going to explain the way that this is going to run. All right, we're going to have our feature up here, and it's going to be wonderful. But during the competition, we have the blessing, I guess, of having 13 people competing tonight. That's wild. That is crazy. All right. So those 13 people, their first poem is going to be a 1-minute poem. Poets. You have 1 minute for your first poem. All right, that's how the first round is going to run, and we're going to cut some of you guys out, and then we're going to move on to 3-minute poems. Okay, so it's going to be super wild. It's going to be super quickly paced. We're going to try and get this moving. We're going to try and love and be challenged and inspired. This is going to be awesome. Are you guys ready? That's good. All right, so I picked some judges in the crowd, and by pick them, I mean it was determined the day that the world was formed or whatnot. All right, these people were chosen before they were even born. Please raise your paddles. Raise your paddle if you have one. Judges' paddles. There's like a professional ping pong player in the back. It's like, I've got my paddle. Awesome, sweet, you're all there. I want you guys to look around and see where these paddles are coming from. You are looking at the most smartest, most beautiful, most wonderful and intelligent and poetically inclined people in the world. That's why they were chosen, all right? Judges, this is about you. You, all right? You are wonderful. As I told you guys, I want you to judge on any criteria that you think what makes good poetry, all right? Do that. Don't let the audience sway you in any way, all right? They're all going to be drunk for the most part, okay? So they don't know shit. Taylor's already drunk. And it's so don't trust them a bit. Audience, sway the judges as much as you can, all right? If they put up scores that absolutely are horrible and do not sit right with you, what are you going to do? Yes, no boo, and I heard a cacao. That is what I like to hear, all right? Sweet, let them know, all right? Because those judges are stupid. They're the worst people in the world. I just picked them randomly from the crowd. They've never even been to one of these things before, so you are the smart and beautiful people, all right? So I want you to live into that tonight, all right? So continue to push them, but if you hear the most wonderful thing ever, if you hear something that absolutely just moves you from the inside, what are you going to do? Yeah, that's good. Yes, show your appreciation. Poets get up here, and we feed off that energy. All right, we're very vampire-like. It's kind of sad, but make sure you make some noise for them. Make sure you're letting the judges know how you feel about their scores. Judges, no one else is here. It's just you and the poets, all right? And everything that I've said before this is kind of bullshit, but the poets are the most important things that are happening tonight, right? They're sharing their lives up here in their poetry, beautiful poetry, and that's going to be a wonderful thing, all right? So I'm excited that I get to experience it. I'm excited that you get to experience it. So we are going to get this thing started, right? Yeah. I'm not asking you guys anything. I'm looking for my boss. Just shut up. Are we good to go? Where is he? He's gone. Interesting. I'm in charge. This is going to be awesome. Sweet. So we're going to get things started, but we're not. Sacrifice! No! That is so strange. Like, I can't stress how strange it is for you to yell that in a public setting. And for people to cheer afterwards. It's getting hot under this nice ass scarf I bought. I've got the warmest neck in this room, and the coldest arms, so what the fuck is going on? All right, but we're going to get started with a calibration poet. Judges, this is your chance to hear a poem and get kind of calibrated into how you're going to judge things for the rest of the night, all right? So we are going to get started. Our calibration poet today is Tressa. Tressa, please come up to the stage. Let's get this started.
He asks me, can you use your mouth? Well, of course I fucking can. I can speak, can't I? Do you have any idea how many owies and boo-boos these lips have healed? My teeth are tombstones erected for every bite taken out of me once. I got a job because I accidentally sang my answer to an interview question. You're looking at the 1998 Loon Call champion of Central Minnesota. This jaw has hinged on syllables both native and foreign. This throat knows all the words to every 90s hit that played at the bowling alley last night. These vocal cords can project like nobody has ever had to hand me a microphone. This tongue can lick some mad ice cream. I have whispered and moved the Statue of Liberty to moans. I would like to challenge you to a talk-off, sir. My words accelerate better than your daddy's fastest engine, and they can't stop, and they won't stop, and they are just starting to spill, and this is just the peak of the waterfall, and they can fall faster, and we can flow farther, and we can cook softer, and we can fall back harder. So I think the better question here is, are you going to get down there and use yours?
My God. Oh. Beautiful. You guys are watching Man Discover Fire right here. This is great. Awesome. So, that poem happened. Judges, poems are going to happen. Surprise. So now, while she's doing that, you're going to try and think of your scores. And when I get up here, I'm going to say, judges, do your damn job. And you're going to put up your paddles with the score on them. All right? So, it looks like none of you scored that last piece. Yeah, there we go. So, put your paddles up with the scores that you got for me. I will continue when I have all of them. Sweet, from low to high, we've got a 7.5. A 7.6. An 8.0. An 8.4. And an 8.9. Applaud the poet. Forget the score. And now we're really ready to get this thing started. Okay, St. Paul, are you ready? Also, I love when people put the mic out like this. I'm pretty sure it doesn't really pick up anything. But it makes you feel important for a moment, all right? And that's great. All right, so to get things started in the competition, we have Anna Binkovitz on deck. But right now, coming up the stage, and I want you to clap until she is up here, Sarah Ogutu.
He is laying on top of me, eyes full, and I've heard of this slaughterhouse before. Flushed like a dahlia's bloom or a barn, easily mistaken for home. It is where the wild men stay or what they become searching for a good time. And what is a good time but a woman's flesh? My stomach growls and he is deep inside of it, and this is lovemaking. Or else meal making, and who am I to say don't eat? And how am I to feed without my body? His face is covered in blood, red lipstick, and still I kiss it, and another till my eyes start to flutter like fluorescent lights. See? All the men inside of me hanging, by their tricks dripping, for what could clean a lonely wound but wet lips, and what would fill a slaughterhouse heart but bodies?
Now it's on. There we go. All right, so judges, do your job. A+, look at that, so fast. The job, judges. I'm not paying you good money for you to lollygag. Should have just stopped it. I am not paying you good money. Sweet. So, from low to high, we've got a 7.8. An 8.2. An 8.4. An 8.6. And an 8.9. Applaud the poet. On deck, we've got Elizabeth coming up to the stage, but clap her up here, clap her up here. We've got Anna Binkovitz.
It is 2015 at the Individual World Poetry Slam, and all of the men on stage have the same poem for me. They want to talk about monsters, about men, but hashtag not them, about violence against women. So they say, my sister, my aunt, my niece, mine. They say you did a really great job tonight. Looking good. They say, I love that dress. What they mean is, it would look so good on my floor. What they mean is, your trauma would look so good all over my notebook. What they mean is, your story would sound so good coming out of my mouth. What they mean is, give a nice chick.
Do your job. So just do your job.
Scared. I'm quite scary.
Yeah. All right, sweet. So, yeah. Starting low to high, we got 8.6, 8.8, another 8.8, an 8.9, and a 9.0. Applaud the poet. On deck, we've got Phaedra Sheridan. But start clapping. Start clapping. Elizabeth, the stage is yours.
13 boys, 60 seconds. I was 14 and listening to a speaker at my Bible camp telling me that I had to guard my heart and be careful to not give it away to meaningless boys. 4 years later, and I don't know how much of my heart is left. Did Keaton only get a 16th because when I kissed him, I got mostly his chin? Did Robbie get an 8th because I used tongue? Did Eric get the most because he got my shirt off? Did Daryl not count because Robbie still had my heart? Then there was Colin, who after I hit him with the dreaded, what are we, he shot back with the surprisingly, I'm gay. Did I give less or more of my heart because I was drunk for Christian, Carter, and Cole? Then there was Tyler, who I never thought I was good enough Christian for. Can't forget about Johnny from the first floor, or Jordan from Tinder, and I don't even know where to start with Sam. What about Austin? Does he just get the pieces that he broke? Maybe if I regret it more, then I get more of my heart back. I just want to know how to measure what I'm giving away and to which boy it would be considered meaningless. Where is this special meter? Today, 18 years old with 13 boys in my rearview mirror, I now know that I still have my full heart to give because my past does not define me, but it shapes me into who I am today. I won't give any less of myself to my future someone. In fact, I'm going to give more.
All right, judges, do your job. From low to high, we have a 7.7, a 7.4. Can I count? Hell no. 7.9, 8.6, and an 8.6. Applaud the poet. On deck, we've got Alessandria. But start clapping. Start clapping. All the way to the stage, Phaedra Sheridan.
The first time I had sex, he whispered in my ear, "Would you kiss it?" He wanted oral sex, fellatio, a blowjob, a Hummer head. He wanted me to play the skin flute, the rusty trombone, smoke pole, suck dick, slurp the gherkin. And I was new to all this, so most of these terms weren't in my vocabulary, but I got the picture. So I said yes, and then I didn't. In my defense, he said, "Would you?" which I took at the time to be a hypothetical. Would I do it? Like, if the situation arose, if I were called upon, like, for my country. I figured it out in retrospect, but it was too late to answer the call. Now, I play it safe. When asked, I always check. Right now?
Judges, do your job. From low to high, we have an 8.0. An 8.5, a 9.0, a 9.3, and a 9.5. Applaud the poet. On deck, we have Jen Wang. Start clapping. Start clapping. To the stage, Alessandria.
Watch your brother. Watch your sister. If anything happens, you better call me. Do not start a fight. If you start a fight, you better finish it, girl. Don't you have them teachers calling my phone while I'm at work, at the gym, at home, at your grandma's. I work. If you're hungry, then say something. Closed mouths don't get fed. Quit running around my house with them shoes on. Are you crazy? You must be out your cotton picking mind talking back to me in my house under my roof. Do you have a job? Do you pay the bills? I didn't think so. That's it. Get a switch from the tree, and it bet not be a small one. Boys? What boy? The only boy you should be concerned about is if it's little boy blue in a book at school. Keep your head in the books, not in them boys. Your body is a temple. Call me first. You don't go outside. You call me first. You don't go outside without the, get home before the street lights come on, before it gets dark out, before the freaks come out. Nothing good happens after 10 p.m. on a Monday night, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, any day of the week that also happens to have a night. Steer clear of the cars and the lights that blink red, white, and blue. The ones in the uniform, keep your distance. They don't know you like I do. They didn't give you your name. They don't feel your heartbeat in your chest like I feel you in mine. And if they try to beat you, I love you for not answering. I love you. Their questions, I love you. You tell them I said to call me first.
Do your job. From low to high, we have an 8.3, an 8.7, a 9.0, a 9.2, and a 9.4. On deck, we got Celicia Berry, but start clapping. Start clapping. Jen Wing.
I can't sleep. My stomach has been full of hands, crowded and twitchy. When I do dream, they're stretching towards me in a synchronized wave, a warehouse of claw machine arms grasping for a prize. It's taken years of practice, but I don't dodge them anymore. Instead, I snap each hand off at its wrist. I wake to them, sweaty and scrambling across my bed. I pry off each finger, toss them one by one into my parents' fireplace, watch them flail and flake and crumble into ash. Still, this legacy of reaching hands will follow me even into the afterlife. Even then, I'll be a body made of gasoline, a phoenix shedding hell in all its burnt flesh.
Judges, your time is now. From low to high, we have a 7.7, 7.9, 8.0, 8.3, and an 8.8. Applaud the poet. On deck, we've got Blythe Baird. But start clapping. Start clapping for Celicia Berry.
Bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And them good old boys was drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. I can smell the America on him, sweet, like the summer of '62, his skin, scented with the sweet smell of strange fruit. So he walks, and there his form floats suspended like a funeral march. He is silent and poised.
and would go unnoticed if it were not for the sweet smell of black roses that surround him. What a boy, doth the young girls ask. Oh, woe to these little girls, so like those who pity Lucifer, all gone. For the boy with the mask of the angel of light, and so their pride sang the song of death.
Judges,
Let's do it.
from low to high, we have a 7.7, an 8.0, an 8.1, an 8.2, and an 8.8. Applaud the poet. On deck, we've got Jamie. Start clapping. Start clapping for Blythe Baird.
If it turns out I am not 100% gay, who do I ask to forgive me? What if I accidentally gave my heart the wrong name? What if I am to fall in love with a boy after years of being your trademark lesbian friend? If redefining my identity makes me a liar, who do I address my apology to? Do I have to go back into the closet if I already came out of it once? I used to find empowerment in labels. Now I feel suffocated by them. When I was 17, I formed my entire identity around being gay, and now I'm worried that I'll be the butt of your jokes. You know, the one about the dyke that just needed a good dick in her. Boys at school used to cackle at me, assuring me that they didn't mind my sexuality as long as they could watch. How my love only counts as long as you can watch. It only counts when you can click on it, when you can whistle at it, when it's entertaining for you to see it. Recently, my mother told me if she knew I was going to be gay, she never would have had me in the first place, and I am terrified to be wrong. To see the smirk on all of their faces if I ever dare to one day bring a boy home like a white flag in a boy's arms, just as everyone suspected I would.
Judges! From low to high, we have an 8.0, an 8.7, an 8.8, a 9.0, and a 9.1. On deck, we've got Taylor Seberg. Start clapping. Start clapping for Jamie. You stay persistent, St. Boys, and don't stop clapping. Keep clapping. Jamie! And while we're waiting, you're going to turn that applause into an applause for all of the poets that we've heard so far. Keep it going! Yes, yes! This is my shit. I love it. It's great. What? Looking outside. Somebody check down the block. Next poet. Alrighty, so I want you to start that clap up again. For Taylor Seberg!
am adopted, and often people tell me I am a black sheep being raised among white fleece, shaving fur in the hopes that it will grow back silky in the hopes to be shaved bald pink. Others tell me being adopted isn't like being a black sheep among white fleece at all. It is a lion pack howling at you at every beck and call that I should have been swallowed years ago. That my skin makes me susceptible to delusion, that makes me irresponsible and constantly lost in confusion, that my black body never had a decision in choosing. I even swallowed whiteness when I started using. My addiction stems so far into reason that every white celebrity thinks my skin is magic until the changing season. My stepmother says that her brother is the Kunta Kinte of yard work. Skin stretched bald pink over a Missouri horizon, and she says that in a town where 40 years ago my uncle would have shot a man who looked exactly like me. Everybody want to cut the legs off her. Kunta, black women taking no losses.
Judges! From low to high, we have an 8.4, an 8.9, an 8.9, an 8.9, and a 9.8. Applaud the poet. On deck, we've got Haley. But start clapping. Start clapping for Jamie. Jamie. Keep clapping for Haley.
I'm 8 and drawing my favorite princess, Medusa. She looks a bit like my mother. My favorite thing about her is how she drapes men, laughs at all the snakes and the men she has turned into them. I'm 18 and dripping in venom. Giddy. Fuck stone. I made a man just hard enough to spit his poison at me and land on my tongue, and we are both laughing. All those pretty teeth. Someday I will own every one of them. All their point and bite crawling out my hair, 1,000 fangs, split ends, eye contact, a spit standoff. Who can claim the wetter mouth wins? And I am always wet, and I always win. Their teeth in my hair, 1,000 trophies dancing turn to look at me. Their slits in my eyes, 1,000 nightmares. One man, his hand unwanted, turns stone on my thigh. Have you ever seen a snake before it bites?
Judges! And the judges know what to do. Awesome. Sweet. So, from low to high, we got a 9.0. A 9.0. A 9.1. A 9.2 and a 9.5. Applaud the poet. On deck, we've got Haley. But start clapping. Start clapping. For Gina.
Girl does not shave half of her head, says the best friend. Using a different name would be too difficult, says the other. Girl does not wear men's clothing, says the mother. If you want to find out who really cares about you, come out of the closet. Say you are queer, say you want to change your name, say you just want to be yourself. Say you want to paint a new picture and do it so they no longer beat the dead horse of girl. Teach them butch can still mean girl. Paint yourself loud and vivid, colors screaming, I am alive, in the pictures they tore you out of. Paint who you really are over the parts they always wanted you to be.
Judges.
Awesome. Sweet. All it takes is a sultry voice. Judges. 8.4 and an 8.5, an 8.6, an 8.8, and a 9.5. Applaud the poet. And the last poet in the first round, Haley B.
I avoid people who look like her. Maybe the garden she decimated would start to bloom if I didn't. If I opened the gates, flood my body and this barren land. But the desert here tells me something else. That there is erosion, quake, fire beyond that fence. That I've been tending this with all the bone willing to give into this land for my own survival. That what embodies her can strip my bones from themselves, can rumble all the madness I inherited. No, it isn't her again. Yes, it is my fear, but all this decay is mine.
Judges. The time is now. From low to high, we have a 7.8, an 8.2, an 8.3, an 8.5, and an 8.7. Applaud the poet. And give a loud applause for everyone that has graced this stage in the first round. Are you guys still having a good time? Well, guess what? It is about to get better. But how? Well, your glorious feature is about to come up to the stage. How many of you have heard of Rachel McKibbens? Rachel McKibbens is the author of 2 books of poetry, Into the Dark and Emptying Field, and Pink Elephant, as well as a chapbook, Mammoth. Her poem, Letter from My Heart to My Brain, is available on limited edition 7-inch vinyl tonight. Gee whiz. She's the 2009 Women of the World Poetry Slam champion, the 2011 New Pick champion, and the founder of Pink Door, the only writing retreat in the United States exclusively for women of color. And this person is about to grace this stage. So if you don't break your wrist clapping right now, I'm going to be severely disappointed. To the stage!
Hold on. Hi, guys. I feel like I'm talking to a ball gag.
That's a nice-ass iPad.
It's not what's happening. It's not an iPad. Oh, my God. So I printed out the wrong version. I printed out, like, draft 1 of poems instead of Wow, I'm an out-of-breath Mexican, which can be dangerous in some states. Whew. Hi. Anyone have any jokes? I'm in the middle of writing a poem to windows. Oh, there it is. Button set. Yes. That's what it's called. So, hi. I'm going to be talking about all kinds of shit, but I only write what I know, really. So we'll be discussing mental illness, rape culture, shame, and violence, primarily against women and queer people and people of color. Are we down with that? It's taking forever to load. Give me that hot load. All right, I'm sending it. What happens? I talk really dirty. I have 5 children, and when I'm not in town with them, I make sure and get out all my nastiness. So, you're welcome. I'm going to open with this poem. My grandmother died a heroin addict. She was about 400 pounds. And the story that she told me, did I drop poems on the way up? Motherfuck. There's like a stack. This is not the right thing. This is only my set list. Who's bringing it? I'm a total professional. How sweet. My kids are texting me right now. Look at you, you beloved, you perfect being. They're all, is there maybe another pile somewhere? I don't know. No, I can't. This is it. All right, so I'm literally, this is so cool that it's being live streamed. Woohoo! You didn't get on yet, right, Mom? I'm taking a shower. It's like, no, dear, should I just tell her? Oh, hi, Jacob, you're watching me right now. That's the penis that I sleep next to every night. So, like, my banter is far funnier than my poems, and I do not apologize. Hi, Mom. Oh, it's so cute. So, when we went, the first time I saw my grandmother leave the house, she told me this story. This is called Leverage. Before the burglar raped my grandmother, he pushed her down a flight of stairs. Her ankle turned, hip unhinged. There was no getting up, no hope for flight. She told me when he was on top of her, she stared up at the clock from the kitchen floor, watched each minute crawl by like a half-smashed bug. She imagined the school bus emptying her sons into the front yard, the grilled cheese sandwiches she had no time to make. When the man pulled his pants back up, she noticed the tattoo on his forearm, the word mother framed in a heart. I have 5 children, she said. How many? 5. What she told me next, I could never understand. Not until I'd lived long enough in this temporary body. Not until I had 5 children of my own. How, when the man held out his hand, she took it. How neither of them spoke as she leaned all of her weight onto her one good foot. The 2 of them standing in the kitchen side by side, spreading butter onto bread. This goes out to all the bipolar people with schizophrenic moms. What? This is called a poem written with a sawed-off typewriter. Some of us vanish out of habit, guided by some blood orchestral pulse, the delirium chorus of a rowing mind. She was always going. I haven't seen her in 2 decades, and I have felt every year. But what's the word for a shadow's shadow? Dark twin? Apparition, angry daughter. Sometimes she calls on your birthday, my father says, confused, her mouth full of radio wire. God is a signal, the devil a song. Hey, Ma, how many voices does it take for a schizophrenic to change a light bulb? Wait. I'm sorry, let me ask an easier question. When you left, did you leave your children half full or half empty? The sandbox. We would hold each other in silence, hungry and toothless, smashed mouths against mouths. I played the husband, brutish breadwinner, choking her hair in my small and ordinary fists, pulling her head back to lick her from neck to ear in long, slow strokes, the kind of love I learned from movies. What was I answering as I banged my empty pelvis against hers when my blood became static and I wanted only to be a boy? I used to ask her, "Who's your daddy?" before that was even a thing. When the recess bell rang, I released her body, but only a little, and we returned to the tubs of minty paste and songs about Jesus. Watching my 5-year-old bride making eyes at the real boys sitting at her table, I bit my lip and I did what I was told. I wanted to claim her, hold her hand as we walked home from school, but once that bell rang, she wanted a divorce. When the big boys followed me down the train tracks and called me faggot, I held out my chin and challenged to fight them all, every time. And why not? Might as well. We all knew I was never going to win anything. So all those email shenanigans were just so that I could read this poem in its proper way. I was talking to Dustin earlier in workshop about the way we sometimes write. We write our poems not just for ourselves, but to catch that thing that we're trying so desperately to conquer. And it's not an easy feat. And I've probably written, I often say that every one of my poems is about my mother. Everyone. She arrives in many different forms. And as I'm older and as I see that I do have some of my kids have inherited mental illness, it's just really hard to kind of reconcile that. Especially when you have children, there's that opportunity for this to just keep going and going. And so much of me and my brain have wanted to stop so many times. I've tried to kill myself so many times. And it hasn't been until this newest year. That I made it to 40 is incredible. I joked on Twitter that turning 40 is like 120 in bipolar years. And it's fucking real, but my children are really fascinated to have this mother who's so involved and to know of my mother who was not involved at all. This is called Swell. My children know, without me telling them, I no longer have a mother, or never had, or once did briefly for a day or two, or maybe Just in that hour, as I turned my skull through her black and whitening cunt, or perhaps only those soft, small minutes following a blind gasp as I latched onto her nipple and tugged, a botched daughter ugly with hunger. My children know, without me telling them, I unraveled a woman with my being, greeted her voice with a newborn's yelp wet as a jackal's. As I blinked myself into existence, her brain went sour. My children know, without me telling them, I am a pile of dishes, a brief mother smashed against the kitchen floor, collapsed milk, splitting wood. And when they ask, gently, tell us what your mother looks like, I always lie, say, I don't know. It's been such a long while. As if her hair, that long, dark funeral, is not my own. As if the faces of us ghosts could ever spoil. How you doing? Let's get into it now. Are we ready to get serious? We're coming up on a very sad anniversary in my family. There are many ways to lose a child. In January, when nothing could thaw, my son confessed he wished me dead. Then, piled in the middle of the attic floor, a most cruel jackpot. Every gift I'd ever given him. A diary of fang and venom. The trees, crippled by ice, stood watch as my son moved slowly down the street like a hearse, then gone. All winter, I wanted to write a poem that did not involve the word ruin. My body, this house, the child who refused to take hold. This is a desperate, complicated theft. Pry my mouth open, find the stench of a final prayer, dear gods of flesh and instinct. Forgive my boy's inherited crimes, the voices that spin his brain into a wooden horse. Grant him a warm body far away from this home. My blood has never been and will never be kind. So I think that all of the pink elephants are gone, yes, that are on the table, but I have one more that I'm going to read from really quickly, just because this statistic drives me fucking crazy. The leading cause of death among women in the U.S., pregnant women in the U.S., is homicide. Drift, for Lacey Peterson. I was never taught to swim properly. Mother told me not to worry. She said, the ocean keeps damaged women afloat, breaks us from concrete blocks and alibis. A smooth seal nudges my gleaming torso. My tethered fetus was snagged on fish hooks. They sank their teeth into his chest and stole his blue and unborn heart. Mermaids bang their tails against the boats of men in protest. Gulls swoop down to snip the last of my breasts. I don't mind being pecked by fish. I've fed my body to the hungry for years now. But when my salted bones come crashing to shore, all that I ask is you give them my name. Any victim blamers in the house? Yeah, woo, liars, you're Americans. All right. All right. Notes from the Jacques Cousteau Ballet. When your sweetheart came home from Madagascar, he brought you a necklace with pearls the size of grapefruits, and you wore it all the time, even though it was uncomfortable, even though it left a strand of bruises across your collarbone. You could hardly breathe. And we all laughed at first until that wild night out on his yacht when you were dancing and drunk and dizzy and you spun overboard and the ocean clutched you in a welcome home embrace and you shot all the way down like a screaming cannonball. Your sweetheart didn't want to get his suit wet, and the rest of us never learned how to swim. So you sank and sank all the way down until it was so dark you didn't know which way was up. After 2 days, we returned to the shore. When the 8 of us stepped onto the dock, we all agreed, you never should have learned how to dance. This was all your fault. All right. Moving on to my chapbook, completely devoted to the death of my 2-year-old niece. You're welcome. America has a really interesting relationship with death, and that it just doesn't like to deal with it at all. Or if it does, it's a performance of it or like a warning. I just want to say that there are many forgotten pockets of human beings throughout the country. And in one particular city called Portsmouth in southern Ohio, that is, my niece essentially had cancer in utero. And that can only happen one way, not just neglect, but purposeful neglect. Neglect with intention. But wait, it gets worse. She was changing her baby's diaper and noticed a hard lump on her side. She took her baby to a clinic, but they didn't know what it was. They referred her to a specialist in Columbus for a biopsy. They said it might be. She said, I don't know what I'll do if I can't deal with any more. But I've been sober. My car won't even make it all the way to. I did everything I was. Why can't I ever? Giants. What I need you to understand is that the body in its most absolute agony is smaller than the body in death. I'm saying that my niece was never as tall as when she was gone, that I blinked in confusion at the sight of her 23-month-old body outstretched and cleaned. I'm saying I did not recognize her body without pain, that I never saw her walk without cancer, that the bones huddle like frightened birds as the bad blood hunts them down. I'm saying I will never again hold her fear against my own, that she will never know fear again. I am saying we will never know in life how big we are. A thing about grief is that you can get really mighty inside of it. Suddenly, People you don't really care about, but you let hang around, you just don't want them around you anymore. Suddenly, you eat better. Or you don't. But I think what's really magnificent or interesting about grief at a certain stage is that things become very clear and so much less important. Solve. Now you want only to become magnificent in the naming of terrible things. You want suddenly to have children, or want the children you do have to stay in the yard where you can see them. You want the man in the elevator to turn and look at you, to pin you against the illuminated numbers, to unhinge his jaw and devour you. These are the things you need to survive, to fake normal. Suddenly, you want to live how you want to live. And I don't mean to get personal, but I have to ask, how alive are you right now? How many poisoned years have you consumed? How many fires have you conquered to do what you do? What haven't you done? What are you doing? If you are hearing this, it's not too late. The child is buried in the ground. Her bones are winning, but your flesh is still yours. What better power do you have than that? None. None. This is it. So go ahead. Eat everything while you still have teeth to do it. Thanks, guys. Kill them all, bitches!
All right, let's give another round of applause for Rachel McKibbens. And then another round of applause for the beauty that is this night. Awesome. So that was sweet. We still got more competition left, more of the slam to go. All right. Did somebody say something? Who talking? Sweet. I'm talking. Sweet. I know I told you to talk when I talk, but I'm always like, ooh, am I supposed to do something? Okay, sweet. So we're going to take a quick break before we get into that, though. That's going to give you time to talk to some of your favorite poets, talk to Rachel McKibbens, check out our merchandise table back there. All right, the book Mammoth that Rachel read from up here is going to be back there for sale, all right, as well as some other books, some other chat books as well that Button Poetry has for you guys, all right? So take this time, grab a drink, take a smoke, use the bathroom, all that junk, and we'll be back here in about 15 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 5-minute warning. Please get your drinks and return to your seats. We will be resuming within 5 minutes. Thank you.
Raffle, remember me? Punctual guy. The time that I gave you to hang out is now over. We're going to get things started again. But before we move into some of the crazy awesome things, I've got a pretty awesome thing here. In this, there are pieces of paper. People in the front row can verify that. These are indeed pieces of paper. The trees that have died. All right. But in this, I have names. I'm going to draw 5 names, and those 5 names get a free ticket to the next show. All right? You get a free ticket to the February show. So I'm put down my drink. Dig in the bottom, she says. All right. First off, we've got... There's another one? Oh. You guys in here almost got real lucky. Actually, I would rather use this.
Oh, okay, cool.
From the top, she says, golly. All right. What? Oh, gotcha. Oh, cute. There's a thing on there that says, who's your favorite poet? And it's my name. And I was like, I didn't enter this competition. That's really cute, Lapita.h1. Okay. All right. Thank you. Wait a second. I know you. Yeah. This is awesome. We met. All right. And arielmail94@gmail.com. Yeah, is that you? Awesome. I love that there's no name. I'm just reading emails here. It's like if we read my email, it'd be saghustler@yahoo.com. Yes. If you're wondering, SAG stands for sexy ass gangster. I was in elementary school. I was super hard. Like, it was ridiculous. So cool. So while we're doing this, think about your first email address and how horrible it was. Try applying for a job with Shadow Ninja 519. Restless. All right. Lauren.no3@gmail.com. Where you at? Yeah, that's awesome. And 2 more. Wait. Oh, that's not as funny as I thought it was. Thought it said Kid Thicky, but it doesn't. Kid7hickey@aol.com. Nice. That's awesome. And the last one. Sweet. Babkey003@umn.edu. There you are. All right, Babkey. It's going to be big. All right, so we do this drawing every show to see who's going to get a free ticket, all right? Say that again? Pick it up at the front. Pick it up at the front. Pick up your free tickets at the front, you guys, at the end of the show. That is awesome. Cool. I have now drawn this from this basket. I did not plan much after that. I will be right back. This is Ski. Ski's going to talk about the thing for a second.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ski, and it is absolutely amazing to see you all here. It is phenomenal how many of you have come out to support Button Poetry. We really love this. Weird. Don't know. But what you were seeing here tonight are people like you. Every single person who's come up tonight is somebody just like yourself who has something to say and has decided to actually write it down. It's not the domain of some special class of people. This is you. This is every single person. You all are on a trip inside of your own souls, and you all have something to share. So what you can do is you can come here and you can share it. Now, it's kind of scary to come up here and do this in front of all of what I can only assume it's a bajillion people because these lights are so flippin' bright. But if you don't want to come up here, or if you do really want to come up here, but maybe not with all of these eyes, every Monday night that is not the Button Poetry Live is my open mic night. It starts at 9:30. Sign up starts at 9:15. Come by. We have music. We have comedy. We used to have an old guy who electrocuted himself on stage. Jesus, what more can you people want? But come here. Learn to practice. Come up on stage. See what it's like. It is a rush. It is amazing. And it is a chance for you to get a chance to explore yourself, to see what's inside of you and share it with others. Thank you. Hope to see you on a Monday night.
QQQ. So every month that we do this, Button sponsors a local spotlight. Give them a chance, somebody from the community, to share something that they're doing. All right, so Lewis Munt, I would like you to get up here. Man, the mic is yours.
Good Lord. Can we have a round of applause for all the poets who didn't walk up here and go, Jesus, fuck! Because that's what I want to do. No, this is super necessary. Now I see why you're doing this. Hi, my name's Louis Munt. It's nice to meet you. If I've seen you before, it's nice to see you again. Can I would say, give me a show of hands, but I can't see a damn thing. New Shit Show Minneapolis. Heard of it before? Hey! The New Shit Show Minneapolis, if you've not heard of it, or if you have, and need a refresher, I host and produce a show. It's called The New Shit Show Minneapolis. It's a spin-off of the original New Shit Show that started in San Francisco. Yada-da. Bunch of details. It's every third Friday of the month at Fox Egg Gallery in South Minneapolis, which is at 38th and Chicago. The New Shit Show is a multi-genre show with one rule. Everything performed on stage must be work that's never been performed in front of an audience before. It's poetry, it's music, it's juggling, it's live Java coding, it's dance, it's like storytelling with like a slide projector. I don't know what's going to happen every month. There are people that show up. I book people that I've never met before. It's amazing, and I don't ask to see anything beforehand. If this sounds like something you're interested in, which it probably is because you're all here, it's every third Friday of the month. Fox Egg Gallery in South Minneapolis. That means the next show is Friday. It's the 15th of January. I wrote it down so I didn't forget numbers this time. This month's features are Jake Skillings, Ian Carlton, Susan Neitz, and Armand McCoy. Those are our features. We start every month with the New Shit open mic. It's a first come, first serve for the first 3 spots. The final spot is a random draw. Everybody's got a chance to get on stage. It's fun. It's weird. It's $5 to $10 sliding scale. We take cash cards. It's bizarre. It's kind of like a workshop experience mixed with an incredibly professional performance venue. Come check out what it's all about. I don't have any flyers on me, so I'm going to ask you to do a weird thing really quickly. There are a lot of you. I can see you now because I figured out where the lights are. I'm going to ask you to just say it with me like 3 times. New Shit Show, Minneapolis. New Shit Show, Minneapolis. New Shit Show, Minneapolis. New Shit Show, Minneapolis. That's 3. Thank you all so much. And hopefully I'll see you at the Fox Egg on Friday the 15th. Have a great night.
Alrighty. So, we are back in our seats. We've got drinks. We have peed. We have smoked. We have laughed. We have met people. And now the show must go on. So, we are stepping into the second round of the show. The way this is going to work, in the first round, you saw 12. You saw 12 poets up here on the stage. You saw 12 poets up here on the stage, and we cut that by a loot, all right? So, we got rid of 6 people, all right? 6 people will not make it into the second round. We got rid of 5 people, because 12. So, there will be 7 people in the second round. That'll then be cut down to 3 people for the final round, all right? To 2 people for the final round. All right. Yes. Numbers are not easy. All right. So for right now, we want to give a round of applause to the amazing non-binary and women that got up here on the stage, poured their hearts out, and did a wonderful, wonderful job. All right. So we're saying goodbye to Sarah Ogutu. Lift it up. Lift it up. Elizabeth, Jen Wang, Celicia Berry, and Haley B. And now we are stepping into the second round. Are you ready? Are all my judges still here? Can I see them paddles? Paddles, please. Beautiful. Sweet. So, on deck, we have Haley M. But, start clapping. Start clapping. For Gina Miller.
Fat girl in public. Looks like hiding in a bedroom, smuggling herself underneath the sheets just to feel small. Looks like examined like a science experiment underneath the microscope, like on display like a baboon at the zoo, like people pointing and staring as if they've never seen a person before. Fat girl in public looks like contortion, like a note in the back of the classroom not meant to be seen. Like scars on a broken girl's body, not just from the knife she took to her own, hoping the bigger parts would just bleed out, but wounds from the stairs that cut even deeper. Fat girl in public looks like living at the gym because everyone told her she needed to, like sulking in the sweat of loneliness, like eyes in the mirror from behind that she wasn't supposed to see. Fat girl in public looks like deer in headlights when the checkout lady at Victoria's Secret tells her, "We don't really carry your sizes here, ma'am." Like she was told to go kill herself because not fitting into clothes means you should not exist. Fat girl in public looks like double standard, like straight unlike herself, black coffee, fuckface. Looks like shock when everyone expected her to get a peppermint mocha frappuccino with whipped cream. Like no one cared to listen when the person after her ordered. Looks like all the focus was gone when the oddity left. Fat girl in public looks like thick skin, a little meat on the bones. Looks like more of a person. Looks like more parts of her to love. Looks like an adjective that some people confuse for ugly. Like an adjective some people don't know means beautiful. Like scars on a bumpy body that never let the bigger parts bleed out because those parts were only ever beautiful. Like hands running up and down the corpse hoping its soul is still alive. Like kissing wounds and not having to be drunk to do it anymore. Looks like wanting to fuck with the lights on, like tattoos in the places they said she could never get them. Looks like a body reclaimed in the realization that it was only ever hers. Fat girl in public doesn't look like you want her to anymore because she finally learned how to love herself.
All right, judges. I love you guys so much. I didn't even tell you what to do. You just did it. You just know. All right, sweet. From low to high, we have an 8.5, an 8.5, an 8.7, an 8.8, and a 9.0. Applaud the poets. On deck, we have Taylor Seberg. But start clapping for Haley M.
What would I have said if I had had the mouth to say it? No. Maybe I would have said a flat no. Maybe I would have moved the hand that pushed him off, maybe if he were lighter. and not pressing my chest to the couch through my back. Maybe if his hands were as weak as his knees. Maybe if they had carried that much weight, they too would have been fragile enough for me to break when he grabbed mine, when he pulled it closer. Maybe then I'd say, look. How I can break your hand, I'd say, look. How my hands are made of blinds, look through the blinds and see the other students, look. Those blinds didn't close themselves. Maybe I would have had a question and the tongue to deliver it, like, why must the door be locked? Like I didn't know why he told me I sweat because I was just excited. Because my whole body must be willing to leak for him and my own fingers. Tears that fall from thighs taste less like salt, and maybe since my tongue has been more for the tasting. The sweat I left on that couch, the whiskey before the cum, how I mix them like a cocktail to forget, a cocktail to numb for fun, and here I am, the melt in the glass with the ice, and next in a familiar bed with my newest boyfriend. He is drunk and says he wants me to meet his past, so he sheds his skin. I say I too was once young and silent and still silent, so decide to tell him about the man with the office with the couch. Semester-long suspicion. A knowing suppressed by heavy hands, he asks for details. For where the hands the touching spread, which parts, how fast, what pressure. I recount. His fingers, he rolls over, leaves the bed, spills his drunk in the toilet, and I am left. And his bed that may as well be another couch. And the door this time too left closed, and I am left clothed but still leaking. From my mouth I found. My mouth had said his hands had brought them back up my throat. They're holding a set of lips, leaking a trail of vomit to leave me wet. It's seeping through the blinds.
Judges! Where they at, though? I can't see you, but you can see me, and I'm squinting. Cool. From low to high, we got an 8.5, an 8.9, a 9.0, a 9.0, and a 9.1. Applaud the poet. On deck, we have Blythe Baird. But start clapping for Taylor Siebert.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know, holding her neck between meaty thighs, mixing the salt of sweat with tears. A paisley dress spot with a $2 domestic salary rips beneath the restraint of a 200-pound body. Breathe, and you will feel your organs retract. Scream, and mama ain't coming back. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Working women are black prostitutes. They call them alley bats as they circle like vultures round the caves of black neighborhoods where 3-month-old babies lay sleeping. Breast milk curdles underneath their mother's pain. We will pay them to make sure they are well fed. These men grotesque in their grins and hate stares, pistol whipped to nighttime joyrides. Nanny Strayhorn, a 32-year-old mother, buckles her Jeep fall coat around her sensible waist. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? 2 white police officers offer her a ride in the dark canvas of night. Can't you hear the captain shouting? It is 1946 and her skin is bleeding. Dinah, blow your horn. The oil slickness of a revolver kisses her cheekbones. The steel of the pistol marries the iron on her tongue. But this is not sanctified. This is not ceremonious. This is black and white, girl and boy, sick, insane, just and unjust. But who can tell the difference when you are tagged like cattle on the playground? You can't swing on our swing sets. You can't play in our sandboxes. And you most certainly cannot kiss who we kiss. Why are our bodies not our own? May 1942, Sadie Mae Gibson, a 23-year-old black school teacher from Alabama, is raped in the bushes at rifle point by a white teenager. January 1940, Lila Bell Carter, a 16-year-old girl from South Carolina, is abducted, raped, and murdered by a white insurance collector. 1942, Rosalie Cherry, raped by 3 uniformed police officers, has the promise to get them another girl for escape. In December 2013, Shonda Grian Sade Hill, handcuffed to a hospital bed, is raped by ex-Oklahoma cop Daniel Holtzclaw. Mamie Patterson, Mary Poole, Ruby Addie Pigford, Gertrude Perkins, Rosalie Cotis, Betty Jean Owens, Reese Taylor, and past repeats, and past repeats, and past repeats on the faded and dusted rocking chair sitting beneath the canopy of a humble brick-lined home. What will she tell her children? Of laceration on her back from the fall. Will she tell them that black women's bodies were to be rented out to the masses like pornographic blockbusters? A firing squad perched outside their door, ready with their metal slingshots, ready with ammunition, ready with their cousins and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles. A mob sickness driving all people to become killers, whether blood was on their hands or behind their courtroom's fingernails. Or will she tell them nothing at all? She will tell them, death stones make no sound as they hit the floor, child, but we still skip them across the Mississippi River to see if they even have a heartbeat. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Strumming on the open.
Judges! From low to high, we have a 9.2, a 9.2, a 9.2, a 9.5, and a 10. Applaud the poet. On deck, we have Alessandria. But start clapping. Start clapping for Blythe Baird.
When the fat girl gets skinny. The year of skinny pop and sugar-free Jell-O cups, we guzzled vitamin water and vodka, toasting to high school and survival, complimenting each other's collarbones, trying diets we found on the internet, menthol cigarettes, eating in front of a mirror, donating blood, replacing meals with other practical hobbies like making flower crowns or fainting, wondering why I haven't had my period in months, why breakfast tastes like giving up, or how many more productive ways I could have spent my time today besides Googling the calories in the glue of a U.S. envelope, watching America's Next Top Model like the gospel, hunching naked over a bathroom scale shrine, crying into an empty bowl of Cocoa Puffs because I only feel pretty when I'm hungry. If you are not recovering, you are dying. By the time I was 16, I had already experienced being clinically overweight, underweight, and obese. As a child, fat was the first word people used to describe me, which didn't offend me, until I found out it was supposed to. When I lost weight, my dad was so proud he started carrying my before and after photo in his wallet. So relieved he could stop worrying about me getting diabetes, he saw a program on the news about the epidemic with obesity. Says he is just so glad to finally see me taking care of myself. If you develop an eating disorder when you are already thin to begin with, you go to the hospital. If you develop an eating disorder when you are not thin to begin with, you are a success story. So when I evaporated, of course, everyone congratulated me on getting healthy. Girls at school who never spoke to me before stop me in the hallway to ask how I did it. I say I am sick. They say, no, you're an inspiration. How could I not fall in love with my illness? With becoming the kind of silhouette people are supposed to fall in love with. Why would I ever want to stop being hungry when anorexia was the most interesting thing about me? So how lucky it is now to be boring. The way not going to the hospital is boring. The way looking at an apple and seeing only an apple, not 60 or half an hour of sit-ups is boring. My story may not be as exciting as it used to, but at least there is nothing left to count. The calculator in my head finally stopped. I used to love the feeling of drinking water on an empty stomach, waiting for the coolness to slip all the way down and land in the well, not obsessed with being empty, but afraid of being full. I used to take pride in being able to feel cold in a warm room. Now I am proud I have stopped seeking revenge on this body. This was the year of eating when I was hungry without punishing myself, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but that shit is hard. When I was little, someone asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said, small.
Judges! From low to high, we have a 9.0, a 9.3, a 9.5, a 9.5, and a 9.5. Applaud the poet. On deck, we have Phaedra Sheridan. But start clapping. Start clapping for Alessandria!
I haven't seen him last since we passionately danced our two tongues in a twisted, tangled tangle underneath the evergreens that, like their longevity, seemed to curse that moment with continuous replay, unwilling to die. Thanks a lot, Mother Earth, right? Because not like I was trying to forget. And forget to remember, and remembering the memories is hard enough without me giddily smiling or trying to blush, because pink doesn't show through on these brown cheeks, yet his pale hands still like to touch. Or at least they used to. Fetish. An inanimate object. Worship for its supposed magical powers, or because it is thought to be inhabited by a spirit. Growing up, I've always wanted to have superpowers, but none like these. And spirit, as long as it's the Holy Ghost, but I doubt that's what he sees. Magical? Inanimate? Object, worship. The little girls don't beg for that. And to let you in on a little secret, neither do women. Women don't crave your worship or beg for your admiration. No, you won't get a smile or a rise out of me with a compliment or a well-played sure source of a good time. Twerk and pucker your lips when they say so and be able to die on a dime. Fetish. Don't pat my hair. Don't touch my skin and call it chocolate or caramel or mocha or body banging like butter. I ain't your wifey, your trap queen, your best friend, or anything like your mother. I am not your experiment, your diversity quota, your cultural trophy. I will not soul food cook for you or boogeyman beat these drums. Sometimes this skin aches for more. Reassurance that it's worth something, that every inch is worth more than the spread of these hips or how it lays in a body bag. Fetishes are for the fools who can't tell the original from the copy. I am neither, for I am the truth.
Judges! From low to high, we have a 9.5, a 9.7, a 9.7, a 9.8, and a 10. On deck, we have Anna Binkovitz. But start clapping for Phaedra Sheridan.
Once a month, I convince myself I have breast cancer. They start to feel sore. Then my abdomen aches, maybe colon cancer. That's even worse. This happens every month. Once a month. On a monthly basis. And no matter how many times I get my period and think, oh yeah, give me a month, I'll do it again. I have this pain in my arm. There's lymph nodes in there. Lymphoma's really bad. And I'll have to have chemo or radiation, and my skin will turn gray, and my hair will fall out, and I'll have to wear hats. I hate hats. Then it snowed again, and I shoveled my driveway. Oh, yeah. This little bruise on my thigh, terminal blood clot. Headache, brain tumor. Backache, back tumor. Jeans too tight, cancer. And I smoke. They've been teaching the perils of that since before I started smoking. I used to worry about boys, or if I could fit a size 6, or if I'd ever meet Kiefer Sutherland. Now, I have not met Kiefer Sutherland, but I will. And I don't care if I fit a size 6. You know what I care about? Death. Cigarettes used to be cool. Alcohol was daring. And junk food was food. Then a bunch of friends that were my age or younger died. And all these famous people I admired died. And a lady I knew went in for a routine checkup. And she died. I haven't had a checkup in years. Screw that. I have a new mole. It's darker than the others. I don't want to know. They'll probably find my right lung is solid tar, or one of my ovaries died, or they'll find a strange mass, and they'll go in to remove it, and the operation will be successful. But the surgeon left a sponge in me, and I'll die. Stress gives you ulcers and high blood pressure. I am not going to win this game. One day, my boobs will tangle in my shoelaces. I will totally stop shaving my legs and wondering what I want to be when I grow up. I'm looking forward to that. These babies are precious. I want to keep them so they can sag so much they might trip me. Abusing my body just is not punk rock anymore. It's lethal. I'm not even old yet. I've got decades of symptoms. Ugh, this is gonna get ugly.
Judges! Do your job. From low to high, we have an 8.8, a 9.4, a 9.5, a 9.5, and a 9.7. Applaud the poet. And start clapping. Start clapping for Anna Binkovitz.
In my recent internet travels, I stumbled across a visual that comments on rape culture. 6 female forms are depicted in various states of dress, from completely covered to totally naked. Under each, the caption, "Not asking for it." Predictably, the citizens of Facebook responded, "Of course! Naked ladies always want to have sex, of course! Your outfit means you want to be raped." But in my experience, one of the chief perks of having sex with an adult is that if they want something, they can ask for it. For instance, if I'm at dinner with my mom and I want her to pass the salt, I don't put on my special salt costume. I ask for the salt with my word place. Now, imagine, if you will, my young travelers, a strange world where all of us, regardless of beard, bra, or body hair, can only express our wants and needs through our clothing. Because of the different vestments everyone will need, we will all have to drag large steamer trunks with us everywhere. Airport security would be a nightmare, like, excuse me, sir. You can't bring this knife suit on the plane with you. But how else am I supposed to tell the stewardess that I want the chicken? Fuck you, TSA. Steakhouses will be a walking health code violation. Everyone draping themselves in raw meat. If you want your steak rare, just douse yourself in blood before coming in. Don't worry. You won't get salmonella. Unless you ask for it. But wait! Our perilous trek has yet to encounter the gravest danger of all, changing into our costumes. Say I'm running late for work and I need the bus to stop. Whilst yanking on my giant hand suit so I can wave the bus down, I will for a moment be naked. And if anyone happens to see me, we must instantly have sex. No time even for the condom costume, which is just putting on a condom. No, we must fuck post-haste. And if anyone stumbles upon us, mid-coitus, they'll have to join in and our orgy will swell like a giant naked peach of sex juices. Injuries will be rampant from sprained vaginas to dehydration. If only someone could change into their 911 costume. But no. Hospitals are no safe haven there. People are naked all the time. Just think about it. Sponge baths. The morgue. Childbirth. The person in labor will be naked from the waist down. And how do you take something out while putting something in? You don't. People would stay pregnant forever. No one would ever catch their bus. All the Home Depot flower beds would wilt and we would all die. Starved but still fucking in the streets of our cities. But you, right there, you can save us from this impending apocalypse of naked. For the love of God and humankind, stop asking people's clothing to have sex with you and start asking people.
Judges! From low to high, we have a 9.4, a 9.4, a 9.7, a 9.7, and a 9.7. Applaud the poets. And if you take a moment, smell the air around you, listen in closely, you will hear the desperate adding of numbers to which will decide who's going into the third round. And I'm sure she's doing a great job. Excellent job. Yeah, math. This is great. You guys having a good time tonight? This is awesome. This is sweet. I'm not going to put my hand up anymore. I'm just going to stare right into it. I will go blind on this stage for you. That's how much I love this place. Thank you. I am sweet. Thank you. Like a chocolate chip muffin. I actually don't like chocolate chip muffins, so that's chocolate. Yeah. This is the only time that you have a friend, because everybody likes chocolate except for us. Yeah, sure. Okay. Interesting. Just had a weird lesson in number theory. Sweet. Awesome. So, going into the third round, in this order. Wait. No. Indeed, I do. I want you all to say bad host. God, why would you say that? You're supposed to say no, you're a great host. I would never say that. God, I set myself up for something bad. All right, so in the final round, we have Anna Binkovitz and Alessandria. Now, as is tradition, the person who had the highest score gets to choose whether or not they go first or second. So, Alessandria, which spot do you want? Number 2. So, start clapping. Start clapping for Anna Binkovitz.
This dissection begins with the mirror. I was told that it's okay as long as you're only talking about yourself, so I say, fat, misshapen brick, my body. There are days I don't know if you are a trash can or what is growing inside of it. I was told that it's okay as long as you're just concerned with health. On the 4th of July, every meal is one grandmother who piles the food on and another 90 pounds whose eyes will scrape it off in the trash for you. My cousin has gotten bigger every time I see him. Still in his 40s, he can no longer go up or down stairs. Couldn't get the groceries out of the car because it meant bending forward. At dinner, he drinks a whole bottle of wine. I don't know how much anyone else drank. We were all watching him, just so concerned. If my family had a motto, it would be, worry is good for the waistline. I went on my first diet when I was 11. For 8 years, I was on a diet, South Beach, Weight Watchers, starvation. I began cutting myself to speed along this process of becoming a shard, hip bone, a picture worth taking. I spent so long staring at my reflection, I began to love the mirror as much as I hated the girl inside it. How it was so flat with thin corners. I wanted that harsh angle in myself, just as sharp but more permanent than a razor blade. So now it's a familiar story every time. When the fat girl wears a bikini or pants or her body, and I hate her for this. How she moves and I don't. How she doesn't just leave her body waiting for someone else to look at it. I hate fat women just as much as I hate skinny women. I have become the mirror, that tiny god of the bathroom, vengeful sheet of glass. All I do now is break people open. There's a weight I've found. Somewhere around 140 pounds where a woman is too big to be allowed a body. Only its parts, the mistakes, the extra. I started with myself, the unacceptable shadows on my thighs. My back with its rolls is nothing like a ladder and more like fat fingers folded over a fat lap. And now I can't stop myself. Look at me. Tell me I'm not covered in the blood. Look at my body. Tell me you hadn't already picked out your least favorite part. Tell me I am not a reflection of you. Look at our hands, how they drip with blood. Reach out, touch me, find out whose.
Judges! Right into the sun. Can't see a goddamn thing. All right. Low to high, 9.0. 9.5. 9.5. 9.6 and a 9.6. Applaud the poet. And keep on clapping for Alessandria.
She be book smart, full of promise and thick-brained, moving through this world as farmers move through their grains. The thick, tall, golden stems with bushels on their ends reminds them of her twiggy figure. And small beginnings, well, that depends. Are you looking for her secrets? Did you come to hear her words, or are you married to the idea of the image you preserve so neatly atop your fireplace, a mantelpiece she be, so you could point out to your boys that you could have a swift, and undoubtedly, well, you cannot. Do you hear me? You can't have her now, not here, not ever, 'cause you can't grasp what you don't see. You wish upon a star and be deeply disappointed before strongest of coffee wakes the groggy man to wipe the crust from his eyelid corners of sleeped sand and make you understand that she is more than skin deep. You ask questions like you're interested. Like you want to know her pain, you nod and smile and rub your hands on her shoulders, singing songs of it's all right. You shortcut your way to her mind with your questions. your many, many questions that she will happily oblige because she knows that you search for the surface of her life as if to say the mere knowledge you've acquired gives you the right to touch, to feel, to slide through her DMs and text messages, to tap dance around defining your feelings, to make a mess of my bedroom, tearing posters from the ceiling. And by the way, tucking keepsakes of me under your clothes, then disappearing isn't keeping them safe. It's burglary. It's stealing. So I'm gonna keep telling myself that I don't want your time, that criminals of the heart don't make good citizens, good boyfriends, or inspiration for your grandmother's favorite Sunday church hymns, and I must be the chosen one, right, dear God? The way I dodge these bullets disguised as grown men, because nobody wants to hold hands in public anymore. So they put their hands in their pockets and pretend, and in their pockets, next to the ghostly echoes of their childhood days, are the fortune cookie slips that never came true and those little black loops that held together braids. But those are all gone now, you see, because in their pockets, it ain't rubber bands anymore. It's just rubbers. Next to their wallet, that's next to their phone, that's blowing up with messages from another girl who won't leave him alone, or won't he leave her? And you wonder why I won't tell you about me, why I won't give you more, why I won't quench your thirst. But it's not me you hunger for, because if it was me, I'd be enough. Hell, even too much. Cup runneth over and all that stuff. You'd drown in these golden arms and never reach my ocean floor and die that pretty, painful death that only actors in movies can endure. A smile, a blaze across your face, a match that lit by me would burn brighter than the northern star and span the 7 seas. Know this. You weren't the first. And you won't be the last of the Neanderthals to lay within my lap and beg for a nighttime story like your mother used to read. You ain't shit. But she, me, I'll be so much more than book smart. Fuck your promises. I got this brain. I shuffle through these streets at night. No stoplights could slow my sway. And so in tuned with Miss Mother's Earth, I got the sun's brown secrets in my skin. Yes. I whip these curls because they sublime. And of course, I know better than to sit here or anywhere with you and waste my time.
Judges! Judges? There we are. Awesome. From low to high, we have a 9.7. A 9.7. A 9.7. A 9.8. And a 9.8. Applaud the poet. And we have reached the end of the January Biden Poetry Live. The book is being passed. All right, and that's all yours. That's your book. You bought that book. It's not your book. It's not my book. I saw it. All right. In first place, we have Alessandria. What's up? You did it. That's awesome. Sweet. So, one thing that I forgot to mention earlier, which makes this kind of cool, is that the winner of this slam is a very important one because the winner is getting a full ride to Brooklyn, New York for the Women of the World Poetry Slam. Representing St. Paul. It's you. It's you. You killed it. Awesome. This is wonderful. We're so happy that you guys are here. Do you want to say anything at all? That mic is yours.
Thank you to all the poets who performed tonight. You guys are great. Thanks to the judges. And last thing, I want to thank my mom who came out with me tonight. She drove me here.
Awesome. This is great. Do you guys have a good time? It's 10:15. It is 10:15. We are ahead of schedule. You know what you could do in the next few hours? stuff. I don't know. You do a bunch of things. But I want you guys to know that what happens here doesn't just happen. All right? This is you when you walk into this room, all this stuff isn't just here naturally, inherently, all right? There are a lot of people who sacrifice, who give, who work, who sweat to make this thing possible, all right? As well as people who pay, including yourselves, all right? But thank you so much for creating an audience for this wonderful art and for these wonderful non-binary and women poets that got on the stage and just rocked the house tonight. You guys were amazing. Give a hand for yourselves. And then we just got to mention the donors, the Knights Foundation that does so much work to make this thing possible, all right? So I hope you guys on your Facebook and your Twitters and your whatnots that you did all the things. The what? Livestream. Hey, you guys, I can't see a camera here because I'm blind as hell. But, what? No. What's up, Livestream? Thank you guys who are at home watching this when you could be watching something else. I'm not sure what's on a Monday night. Probably not good. Everything that is good is happening here tonight. So thank you so much for doing this. Give a round of applause for those people. And then again, remember there's a merch table in the back where Rachel McKibbens, a wonderful feature, just rocked the stage up here today. Her chapbook is back there for purchase, as well as other chapbooks and books by Button Poetry's Publishing. All right, so it is super awesome, and they're there, and they're for you, and I love you. Good night.